Haven't made a video in a bit, so on my drive, gonna go get groceries. Yeah, I was thinking about driving and people in space and stuff, and sometimes my girlfriend can be kind of awkward in just physical space, like moving around. And when I used to ride my bike around campus in college, and it always bothered me when like people. Like, I get it, like, somebody's biking towards you, so, like, I don't know, like, it can make people nervous or something, but it's like, dude, I mean, I have eyes, like, I'm not a blind dude on a bike, I'm fucking looking where I'm going, like, what is that? I think it's it's like the adage of the military or the Marines or whatever, it's just like, walk with a purpose, and that's kind of what just bothers me with some people sometimes, is like, and this is the same thing with, like, people letting people go at, like, intersections when they don't need to, like they're doing the extra effort to, I don't know, feel special, like they're directing fucking traffic or something. Like, it's always more of like an ego thing for those people. Well, it just annoys me, like people moving, it's like, I'm biking or whatever, and it's like somebody's kind of like, and they're like kind of like jerking like forward and then stopping and then like kind of jerking forward again. It's like, dude, like, just keep fucking walking how you're walking, and, like, I'm aware of you walking. Like, I see the way you're walking. I see the speed you're walking. I'm on a bike, and I'm choosing my path to go. So it's like, oh, you're walking to the left at this speed, you'll probably be, like, a few feet more to the left in, like, another second or two. Like, I understand, like, people moving at a speed. That's the thing. It's like, I probably won't go to the left. I'll go to the right because, you're walking to the left. So my opening is now to the right. You know what I mean? It's like, but then they like jerk, like they're like stopping, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to crash into you. You know what I mean? It's not like I've ever crashed into anybody, but it's just so annoying. It's like, I can predict you if you just completely dead-ass stop, and I can predict if you keep going the route you're going. I can't predict when somebody wants to just sporadically, chaotically jerk forward and like start moving and then stop going, and then like, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do now. And that's the same, it's not the same, but it reminded me of this time too where I was walking to class or whatever, and I'm pretty sure I recognized this lady as a teacher. I think she was like one of the art teachers or something. But it's like, just some people that they need this like little like ego boost or something, because that's all it is. It's not, this is the thing about it, and it's really telling to the end of the story. It's not for you, it's for them to do this. It's not doing you a favor. It's for them, and it was for them the whole time. And though they won't admit it's for them, but it is for them mentally. That's something they need out of you. They need it from you. So I'm walking slowly, and there's like a driveway up ahead to the left, going into some sort of, like business building or whatever. I don't know what building it was. But it was like pretty far. Like, it was like a solid like mid to large room's length away. Like, it was like, I'm not gonna get there for another, like solid 6, like probably 7, 8, 9 seconds. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a bit away, and I'm walking slowly. And this lady, like, there's no oncoming traffic towards her or anything, but she stops and she's looking at me. Sorry, I'm making a turn. Hold on. I can't multitask at all. I hate when people say they can multitask too. It's a complete myth. You're not. There's no way you're going to put in the sense of, here's my nuanced opinion. There's no way you're going to give something, maximum efficiency doing two things. Like, I can drive my car, I can talk, and don't get me wrong, I like doing both, but it's like, if I'm making a turn or I'm making a decision, like, I'm going to stop talking. I'm not going to have some, like, philosophic discussion when I'm, like, trying to react to shit. But anyway, and that goes hand in hand with the whole biking thing and anything, right? It's like, I'm fucking reacting to shit. I see you, I'm reacting, and I'm picking my path. So anyway, I'm walking towards, whoa, I'm getting a weird echo or something in my ear. Hello? So she stops and she looks at me, and she's like, waves her hand like, oh, you can go. And I'm like, I'm literally like bewildered, because I'm just like, I'm like, not to be like mocking, but I'm just kind of like, okay, like in my head I'm like, okay, like I'm just like, no, like, and then I like wave my hand, I'm like, you can just go, like I'm far from where you are, like you can just fucking pull in. And then she does it again. I'm like I actually start walking slower too. It's like, you have plenty of time. Like if it was me, I could have pulled in 5 fucking times. I could have pulled in that driveway 5 times. So I start walking a little slower, and she does it again. I'm like, no, like really, you can go. And then I'm like, I give her like a thumbs up, and I literally just stop walking. Like, you can fucking go. Like, here's where I put my foot down, like in this fucking fake bullshit, right? Because you're doing it for yourself the whole time. It was never about me. And this is the telling part. So I'm just like, yep, like thumbs up. I still look like, I don't look like a total douche. Like, at this point in my mind, I'm a total asshole, right? Like it is like, wow, this lady's fucking stupid. But like, in reality, I was like, I gave her a thumbs up. I'm like, no, really, you can go. And I just stopped like moving. And she does the throw your hands up kind of thing, like, oh, the nerve of some people, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what is wrong with this guy? Oh, I was just trying to do something nice. She does this, like, ugh. It like kind of like shakes her head, or that kind of, you know, reaction, like kind of the whole throw your arms up, shake your head kind of like Karen fucking, like, yeah, exactly. And that's telling. The whole time, it was never for me. You're not a nice person. You just did it for yourself. And I know this isn't anything new. I know a million people have probably had this exact same conversation. And, you know, it just bothers me. It just fucking bothers me. I don't know how to explain. I think I just said something the other day. Or, no, you know what? I was going to make a video, and then I just deleted it. That's kind of the thing with life. It's like, I don't know if I made this video or not, but I think deep down, like, with life, it's just so frustrating sometimes, because I feel like a lot of people kind of like give up. And I feel like no offense, but like people around me, it's like a lot of people, it's like people are living for like tomorrow. They're living for like this next step. And part of it is kind of like this antinatalist, you know, philosophy, where it's like, I feel like I'm me right now. Like, I'm my body and I'm my mind, right? And my mind doesn't even really matter. And I'll clarify that in a second, where like your mind doesn't even matter really. And I don't mean your body is strictly like your nude body in a mirror. I mean like your body, like the words coming out of your mouth is like your body doing something, right? And like you interacting with the world, you outputting physicality. Like you outputting sound waves is outputting material into the world. And it's just disappointing, because I feel like a lot of people live for like, and a lot of this is like, I think it's like the family thing, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna have a kid one day so I can have a little play thing, basically. I mean, kids are like toys to people. It's just, and the thing about kids is like, if you feel like you need a kid to have a fulfilling life, to be happy, you are quite literally gambling their happiness for your own happiness, because there's no telling if your kid can have a kid. I mean, you could argue adoption, but like your kid might be you know, what's the word, infertile or whatever. You don't know for a fact. I mean, is it likely? No, but like, who knows with all the fucking toxins and shit we're getting now. I don't think it's not guaranteed your kid is going to be able to reproduce. So if you're one of these people that thinks like, oh, you're going to miss out and like that's the next step and you got to, dude, find a fucking hobby. Live for yourself. And people call it like selfish when people want to like save money and take vacations and not have kids. It's selfish to have a kid. It's like if you live for yourself, it's like, okay, I live for myself, I do my hobbies, and I die. Having a kid's like, oh, I want to be happy by having a kid and having a family, and that's a notion, I need that to be happy. And it's like, what if your kid has the same notion where they're like, well, I need a family and I want to have a kid to be happy. Okay, they're infertile, they can't have a kid. So you just damned them to unhappiness for your own happiness. It's a gamble. What if they come out, you know, in a terrible way, you know, physically or whatever, you know, what if they're severely handicapped? What if they're physically handicapped? You're gambling their happiness for your own. And I don't want to get too into that subject, but you know, it's just a different mentality where people, it's like sometimes I feel like people stop trying socially, and it's hard because when they stop trying, there's that, reverberation to yourself. And I feel like then I try less hard. It's like if nobody's trying, then I'm not stimulated, nothing's new, nothing's novel, and then it's just kind of like I get complacent and, boring and whatever. And I don't want to blame other people for getting more boring. It's like I feel like I have been getting complacent though, and I need to try harder lately. And maybe if I try harder, they'll try harder. And that's the whole expression, be the change you want to happen in the world or whatever. You have to be the change. And that's the same thing with fucking karma. People talk about karma like somebody wronged them, like their, bully or whatever shoved them to a locker, but then they didn't do anything about it. And I'm not trying to shame those people either. I'm not trying to shame victims. I'm just saying it's like in life, you can't always expect karma to catch up to somebody. Sometimes you have to be karma. That said, that's also a dangerous thing to say to somebody. Somebody who's a little mentally unhinged. You say you slide your you work at a fast food restaurant, you slide your change to them and they took it as disrespect because you didn't hand the change to them, you put it on the counter and they bash your fucking head in and kill you, they cave your head in. You know what I mean? So saying you have to be karma, you have to be other people's karma is also dangerous. And it's very nuanced. But in life, it's like everything doesn't just automatically work out. You know what I mean? Like you have to, in ways, make it work out. And everything in life, in a lot of ways, is deterministic, which sucks. But at the same time, it being deterministic, as another philosopher has said, you can't just sit on your couch, saying, oh, it's all deterministic, we have no free will, it doesn't matter what I do. Well, now that you're doing that, right, that altered your course. And you were always meant to react that way to, this discussion in some sense, right? In every sense, 100%. It's since the dawn of time, since the Big Bang, you've been riding the wave, and you really have no control. You're just riding the wave until it comes crashing and retracting back. But it's just like, yeah, you got to be the karma, right? And choose your battles, though. That's the thing, too. It's like, somebody says something mean to you, maybe just say something mean back to them. Just equal and oppositely. I hate the whole, the eye for an eye thing. It's the whole world blind, right? But, choose your battles. Maybe don't actually blind the world. But, and there's nuanced scenarios, obviously, right? I think the intention, as much as I like to spout off that I don't think it matters, what led to something, I think it in ways it does. Intention does and does not matter. I know that sounds really indecisive, and it's like I could just be like, oh, it's Buddhism, dude. Intention, if somebody's a jerk to me, it's like I don't really care what led them to be a jerk to me. It's like, well, I'm not going to talk, I'm going to be mad at you. I'm not going to talk to you. But at the same time, there is some nuance to situations where it's culturally or whatever, someone really wasn't trying to be a jerk. There's just times where somebody's clearly the bully-esque type person, the real asshole type person who's just trying to piss people off to their narcissism, they're trying to boost their ego. Yeah, that type of asshole, obviously, I don't care what led you to the situation that you're being an asshole to me now. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me that your dad was mean to you. It doesn't matter to me. But at the same time, it's if somebody's accidentally trips and shoves me or whatever, and I, maybe I didn't realize that at first, but I realized it later, that it's kind of okay, yeah, you didn't intentionally shove me into a wall or whatever, you know what I mean? Anyway, circling back, nothing's going to be buttoned up perfectly with these thoughts, but I'm on a roll, 14 minutes. The whole mind and body thing, though, it's and back to the whole, everyone's trying to live for tomorrow. It's they're trying to live for tomorrow, and it's they're trying to, it's dude, it's right now. I'm 30. It's right now. This is my life. You think I'm even going to want a cool car when I'm 40? I mean, maybe I'll still want a cool car, but it's it's already getting to the point where I don't really give a shit at this point. I was fantasizing about a cool sports car for the last, few years. Man, that's maybe possible. Maybe possible in the next 5-6 years. I could probably I've been doing investing and stuff, and I was day trading lightly, and I'm not making good money, don't get me wrong, but I was I could actually probably buy a cool car, in the next 5 years or so. So, and I don't even feel like it anymore. And honestly, I see these old dudes with cool cars, I saw this dude with a yellow sports car. I think I've even said this. I know it's like mean, I guess, but he looked like he's like wrinkly, like smoker ass, like fucking, 50, 60-year-old dude. And he's got a bright yellow, like, sports car. Like, what made you land on yellow? Like, you're like 60. Yellow, get like a fucking classier color at that point. If not anything, just the traditional red, like red sports car. Like, dude, yellow. Like, you got a car that's the color of piss. Oh, and the sun. The best case scenario. Oh, it's the color of the sun. Who gives a shit about the sun? I hope the sun goes out and we all fucking die in the darkness because I'm a vampire. Anyway, I'm just kidding, but it's the color of piss. Not my piss. My piss is clear. But your piss, because you don't drink enough water and you're not as healthy as me. Anyway, the whole mind thing, it's like, congratulations with the car. And I'm circling back to the point I was making. Congratulations with the car. Where's your car at now? You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're in a building. Maybe we're having some drinks and we're talking and we're telling stories and I'm telling you a joke and maybe you're telling me a joke. It's not quite as funny as my fucking joke, right? And maybe you don't even know I'm joking because you think everyone's really fucking stupid. You think everyone's really stupid and it's telling that you're stupid. I think everyone's a fucking genius. You know what I mean? That's the difference. And I guess in a way, yes, I'm calling myself, I'm so smart because I think everyone else is smart. In a way, I think it's telling what people think of other people in a lot of ways. I think people are fucking predators, though, at the same time. So maybe that's telling for me, too. Maybe I'm like a fucking predator. And I don't mean child predator. I just mean like a fucking animal. Like I'm a dog. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to chase a fucking bone. And like, there is a certain like dark, not connivingness, but like a very like dark outlook on like situations sometimes psychologically. I have a very dark outlook on people. But I think people are real smart. I think pretty much everything you do is intentional. I think everything is planned out in a lot of ways with people. But anyway, the point is, I'm at a stoplight. And I just lost my train of thought because I'm a crazy person. I guess I'm a crazy person, and I lost my train of thought completely. The mind, body, and where is your car now? Yes, exactly. And, I'm here now, and I'm talking to you. And what is life other than communication? What is it? Are we playing a sport right now? Are we playing hockey? No, like, we're communicating. And in any social situation that's meant to be fun and enjoyable, relaxing, good time, maybe I'm on vacation, it's you and other people communicating, possibly over drinks. Some people do drugs. Maybe some people don't do drugs or drinks. Some people are straight edge, but they get together and they have some good food and they talk. And I think that is like the most like real situation you can ever be in. It's like the most like default, like basic, like step one, like you're a toddler, step one situation you could be in. And everything else in addition to that, all the bells and whistles in addition to that are less important. So what do I care to bring to that space other than my mind and my body? I want my mind and my body to be a certain way. I want them to be as good as they can be, or as good as, how I would prefer them to be in that situation. Where's your car now? We're talking. Who cares? Like, you have a sweet car, and that's awesome. And like, when you're driving it, I'm sure it's pretty cool. But like right now, when I'm having a beer with you, it doesn't matter that you have a car. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I mean, unless we're in your house, it doesn't matter what your house is like. You know what I mean? Sometimes it matters what the house is like if we're in the house. But the point is, oh God, it's just all this additional like psychological shit that people need that isn't really important on like a really basic level. Is like, people need to like feel some kind of way or and that does relate to them in a social situation. Obviously, if you need to like feel some kind of way and extract something from people, but also it's kind of selfish. You know what I mean? Like, needing too much from people in a social situation is selfish. I don't know where I'm going with that. I think a lot of people are selfish, and that's another reason why I think like no one should have a kid, because people inherently kind of hate each other, and maybe that's telling with me. Maybe that's telling that I hate people, right? And I would like to think I don't hate people, You know, my friends, in my opinion, I consider them like my family. There's a lot of people, and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And if anyone says anything ridiculous, I automatically think they're joking immediately. It could put me in danger, right? Like, I've got a shotgun, like I'm gonna do some damage here, and I'm gonna be like, that's a funny joke, man. And I'll be saying that until my head's blown in. You know what I mean? Like, I always assume people have a shred of fucking like intelligence or like common sense about them, and they're like joking if they say something weird. While as everyone else, they think they're being dead ass serious and no one can tell a joke because everyone is the shallow puddle, and this is what I'm leading to. And that they're this, you know, oceanic, deep complexity. They're this deep ocean of complexity. And this is what people realize, and this is what I think, you know, you should fundamentally understand is like, when you're in a situation, yes, you're your mind and your body. First and foremost, you're your body. You're not even your mind. Because the thing about it is, you have this inner monologue going on, and you have this spider web, a webbing, a tree with all these branches branching off of each other, of complexity with every little situation, of all these nuances that you don't say out loud to people around you, but that enriches your own narrative when you go out and when you talk to people, when you interact with the world. You're not outputting your inner narrative, at least all of it. You try to output some of it, and it's like a terrible crayon drawing that a little kid does. Communication in general is very important, and I put a lot of emphasis on it, and a lot of people don't. And their communication ends up being like a toddler finger painting, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of caveats to what everyone says, and I automatically assume that. And that's the same thing with like the whole, oh, you're saying something wacky, I'm assuming you're joking, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people aren't like that. They assume people are just very shallow, and I think it's because, I'm not saying because they're shallow, I think everyone has this inner monologue, this complexity to them, but in a way that they're ignorant to those around them. It's like they are not, it's not that they're irredeemably stupid, but they're being stupid currently, right? Like, you underestimating somebody is kind of being stupid. Even if somebody doesn't look like much, it's like, you know, unless it's, I don't know. I don't even want to say unless it's been established, because it's been established by what authority? By what measure, you know? That's the thing about it. By what measure? Oh, are you a smart person? You're good at, like, you know, saying factoids about whatever, wooden ships? I just call that fucking autism, you know what I mean? No offense. I'm not trying to make the video too offensive. It's just, oh wow, you can name all, like, literally like Aspie-esque shit. Like, wow, congratulations. You can have a really good inner clock when the microwave's about to go off on your fucking Hot Pocket. You know what I mean? Like, you have a sixth sense for time. And that is cool. Like, I think that's good. But, like, who's to say, like, what intelligence is? Is that intelligence? Because, like, having a really good internal clock is, like, I mean, your fucking body is like on point, right? Your mind is on point with that. And there's a lot of different things. And I know it's been talked about, oh, street smarts and da-da-da. I don't want to get into intelligence, but it's just like, you know, your mind and your body, but in a way, you're not really your mind at all. You're only what you can output into the world. So in a way, you know, I put a lot of emphasis, like, I'm not trying to sound like a vain, narcissistic type of person, but I do put a lot of emphasis on, like, trying to be, like, physically fit, trying to look good physically, and I keep a workout routine, and I don't think I'm photo worthy, but I think I'm above average, and I think it's important. I also think it's important what you say. And the thing is, no one is listening to what's going on in your mind, and you can have the best intentions ever, and you can have a whole inner monologue about, you know, a situation and through traffic prohibited. I gotta just turn around somewhere. This is what I mean when I'm talking and driving. I'm on a real roll here, though. I don't know where to go. I'm gonna go left, I guess. Oh, all right. And then I turn at this McDonald's sign back. I take a right back to the McDonald's sign. Anyway, so Yeah, I think people overemphasize their thoughts, and while I think thoughts are incredibly important, they're obviously the basis to action, right? They're the basis to your physical being outputting into the world. You can't output without a thought first, right? The thought is the initial spark, and the actual thing that touches other people, the thing that even not necessarily touches yourself, your thoughts touch yourself, but the thing that touches the world around you, which is debatably the most important thing, right, obviously, is to be here, to be alive, and to be interacting, to be vibrating, like, with everyone, like all the molecules and shit. To not be vibrating, to not be touching and communicating and affecting is, in a lot of ways, not existing. And that sounds like narcissism in a lot of ways, right? And it's hand in hand. Being ego attached, choosing life, choosing to move forward, choosing to interact. In some way, you are ego attached to some degree. I'm not saying to an unhealthy degree, but to have full, ego death, ego unattachment, you wouldn't do anything, right? You wouldn't do anything. I can't believe I'm all the way back on blankety blank road right now. I overshot the grocery store that I was going to. I really got to get there too, because now it's, I have a couple hours. Anyway, the point is, before it gets too like pseudo, I'm a smart guy, pseudo whatever, I'm such a smart guy, I'm so smart, can the world understand how smart I am? The body, in a lot of ways, what I'm trying to say is what matters, and people don't emphasize enough about what, and again, I don't mean the body in a really simplistic, trivial, like my body in a swimsuit, the body, what I'm doing, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, where I am in space, how I interact with the world. And, I guess I pretty much covered it. I think people I don't know what I'm doing. God damn it. Like, can I pull in here or no? There's like a turning thing and there's like no driveway. Like, I just want to turn around somewhere. I talk so much, my voice gets like hoarse. And, whatever. I'm just trying to turn around. I can't talk now because I'm trying to turn around. I could have turned there on that road, maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's turn around on this road. This, like, ghetto-ass road. Oh, shit. We're in the ghetto now, boys. We're in the white ghetto. Just kidding. I don't know what color ghetto it is. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Hopefully I don't get shot. Just kidding. It's probably not the ghetto, right? It's probably not. Hope not. Hope this person doesn't run out, shoot my fucking car up. No, I'm just kidding. Just a lot of small houses. Not trailers, though. That's a good sign. Or is it? Maybe you're watching this video in a trailer, which it's a good sign. You're really smart. I'm not trying to say that, like, sarcastically or anything. It is what it is, Like I said, life, everything is what it is. That's the smartest thing you can say in life, You're riding the wave. You're riding the wave since the fucking dawn of it. No control. But, yeah, the inner monologue is what makes people think they're smarter than everyone else. And it really bothers me that people don't think about that. And, I don't know. It's just, I think that's what some of the trouble, comes from too, is people really kind of dehumanize other people because, like, they actually think it's like they think of them as like robots, because in a way, like, they do act like they are perceived as more robotic than you, because you have your inner monologue and you cannot hear theirs. And the only thing, oh my God, where am I going? And the only thing that matters is what you output. And I'm just talking in circles now, right? The only thing that matters is what you output, and a lot of people are not good at communicating. And a lot of people underestimate what a thought can actually become. And I've talked about it before, where it's like, sometimes to get a thought across, I think a really good, like, intellectual, really decisive thinker and speaker, I would love to hear a brief paragraph or two, you know, very meticulously, deliberately explaining something thoroughly. I would love that. I love when things are, and that's a testament to efficiency, which I like talking about a lot, and losing yourself to some degree. Efficiently doing anything is losing yourself. And you can, I'm not religious, but it's almost kind of like becoming like, it's like losing yourself and like finding God. Not to, you know, the video took a weird turn, right? And I'm not religious, but it's like, it transcends yourself into, you are now the box of rules. When you efficiently explain something, you lose all character, you lose all self-expression, and you just perfectly explain it. You know what I mean? And in a way, I guess that is the perfect self-expression, right? If you're trying to explain something, thoroughly explaining it is a beautiful thing. And you outputted a thought perfectly. And I think there's a satisfaction from being efficient. And there's a satisfaction that is painful in a way, because you do lose that soulful self-expression. And what you gain is efficiency, and what you gain is you lose shape. You lose shape from yourself, and you become the box of rules that constrains everything. You want to make an aerodynamic, you know, efficient car, you can only do that certain ways. You can't make a really stupid looking car that's not aerodynamic, that's a complete big ass box, big pancake, a sideways pancake, you know what I mean? You can only design a car certain ways. Just like I can only set up a sentence in certain ways to efficiently get out a thought. And maybe I didn't do that because I've been rambling on for 30 fucking minutes, right? But it's like, if you can't concisely say a thought, it's almost better to just vomit out all the thoughts are surrounding it, that whole web, that whole inner monologue, the whole spider web, and not even the whole, right? I didn't get everything, because there's all these branches that I want to go into, and I know it's like I'm a crazy person. I know that's what it seems like, but there's so many branches to all these thoughts. It's like I want to explain like the emotional implication behind like every little fucking thing. Not to sound like an overly emotional person. It's like I want to explain like why I like did da 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 da. You know what I mean? And it just goes on and on. And there's concisely doing something, or there's fucking word vomit. And within that word vomit, it's like the monkey. They say if you give a monkey a typewriter and infinite time, and he'll write Shakespeare. That is kind of like the logic behind it. It's like to paint like a better picture. To paint a better picture of somebody, you need more details. You need more work from them. I don't know how to word it. You need more output, and then you get a better picture of what they're trying to like do, or what they're trying to say, what it's all about. If I walk in a room, like I say this all the time, if I just say I walk in a room and I say like, oh, I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm that peanut butter and jelly sandwich guy now. That's what people think of me. When they think of my face, they're going to be like, oh, that peanut butter jelly sandwich guy, he fucking walked, he must be hungry and he must like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He must be, maybe he's a retarded person, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to think a certain way about me based on like what I output. So, you know, I'm kind of from the camp of, I mean, is there camps? I don't know. Is there veins to this? Yeah, I'm from the camp of I'm from the school of thought that maybe I can't concisely say something. Sometimes when you say something beautiful, it's not like I've never said anything efficiently and concise and beautiful before. I have. But when you're trying to explain like a nuanced thing, sometimes it's better to kind of over-explain it. You know, not that everybody's going to listen. Not that everybody's going to listen to you rambling on for 40 minutes why you like, you know, pineapple juice over orange juice, right? And like it all stems back from like, and some of it stems back to when you were 8 and your grandparents, blah, 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 blah. And there's a whole history behind every little thing, right? And it's like, yeah, I mean, you can't expect people to listen to all of it. But if I throw enough word vomit at you, maybe you'll pick up on some of what it's about. And, I think sometimes that's better, right? Sometimes that's better when my physicality is in this space and I'm reaching out and interacting. At least I can say it was there, right? At least I can say it's like a fucking, you know, a word search, at least I can say, hey, the words are there. You just got to carve them out, right? The philosophy is there. The intelligence, woo, oh, the supreme intelligence, it's all there. It's all here somewhere, right? You just got to find it. I guess it's your job now to excavate my fucking, my fucking dirty rubble of a conversation. And thank you. If you feel like doing that, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate if you watch this video to this end of me, rambling on and on.